Hi, this is Brandon, and I want to quickly go over how to prepare an AutoCAD drawing for export to DXF so that it'll work well with FlexSim. Now there's a number of steps that we need to do, and I'll walk through them rather quickly, but it's a video, so you should be able to pause it and rewind it if you didn't catch something quite right. Now here we have a sample drawing, and I want to highlight some things about this drawing. If we zoom in, we can see that the drawing's been kept relatively simple. We don't have any machines that were heavily outlined or filled in with intricate detail. We don't have any automobiles or anything else running around, or people. And so this makes it so that we don't have a lot of stuff that we wouldn't want to draw in FlexSim. A lot of times, especially with manufacturing, you'll find that there's a lot of excessive labeling, or there's dimensions for things that you don't care about. You might have a machine that you're going to detail in FlexSim with a nice 3D model, but in the AutoCAD file, it's already intricately drawn. Well, all of those lines are just going to weigh down your graphics card when it tries to draw them in FlexSim. So it pays to come in and clean up a model and delete that kind of stuff at the beginning. This model is relatively clean. We don't have any excessive hatching or any machinery or anything like that, so we're going to leave it alone. Now, the next thing that we want to do after we've cleaned up the model is we want to come in, we want to move it and scale it. So if we move the mouse to a location, like right now, in the bottom left we can see that we're at 24,000 by roughly 45,000. And that's not going to do well in FlexSim, because when you import it into that visual tool, you're going to have to go that far away just to find the drawing. So what we want to do is move this to the origin. To do that, we're going to select everything that we want to move, and then we're going to type in move to use the move command. This asks us to specify a base point. Now this base point is going to be the point that's at the origin when we import it into FlexSim, or 0, 0 in the visual tool. So I'm going to select right here. The next thing it wants me to do is specify a base point or displacement. Now I want to basically tell AutoCAD where to put that base point I just selected, and I want that to be the origin, so I'm going to type in 0, 0, 0 or 0, 0, 0 and hit enter. Now we can see that our drawing has disappeared. It's already moved it to the origin. So I'm going to zoom the extents by double clicking the scroll wheel, and now we have our model at the origin. So if I move my mouse to about where I said, we can see that we're at minus 113 and 12. So we're really close to the origin. The next thing I want to do is check the scale. Now to do that, in this model I'm just going to zoom in, and I'm going to pick something that I know the relative size of. Like this is a road right here. We can see one lane with a double line in the middle and another lane. And then I'm going to use the distance command, and I'm going to type in DIST and hit enter. It's going to ask me to select 2 points. I'm just going to select one side of the road and then the other, and it tells me that that's a distance of 23.42. That's roughly the size of a road in feet, and because I want my model to be in feet in FlexSim, I don't need to rescale this AutoCAD file. However, had this been in inches or some other unit of measure that I didn't want to use in FlexSim, I would do the same thing with the move, as I would select everything I wanted to scale. Then I would use the scale command and type in scale, S-C-A-L-E. And then it asked me to specify a base point. I'm just going to type in 0, 0, 0 because I want to use the origin as my base point for scaling. And then what I want to do is specify a scale factor. So if it had been in inches, a scale factor to get it into feet would be roughly 0.0833 or 1/12. Had it been in meters, I would use a different scale factor. I'm going to hit escape because I don't want to rescale this model. Now the last thing that I need to do is explode this model, and there's a reason I'm doing the exploding last. I cleaned up the model first because that reduces the number of drawing elements that I need to move and then I need to scale. When I explode a model, it's going to increase the number of drawing elements, because it's going to make ellipses and circles and polylines, and it's going to break those down into their most basic elements, which is lines. So what I want to do is select everything in the model that I want to import into FlexSim, and I'm going to type in explode. Now when I do this, sometimes it can take a while depending on the model size. I'm going to look back up here where it's telling me what it did here at the bottom, and I can see that it found 30,799 elements in the model, and it was not able to explode 30,689. When you get to numbers like that, you're pretty much done, and you don't need to worry about exploding it anymore. At this point, almost everything you see is going to be imported into Flexsim. So now that I've cleaned the model up, I've moved it, I've scaled it, and I've exploded it, I'm ready to save it as a DXF file. So I can come up, say File, Save As. I typically use an AutoCAD 2000 DXF format. I'm just going to put this on my desktop. Now we've saved it as a DXF file and we're ready to import it into Flexsim. To do that, drag out a visual tool, tell it that you want to do an imported shape, and select the DXF file. You got to do one more thing when you do it in Flexsim, and that's that you need to change the X rotation to -90. What that's going to do is take your AutoCAD drawing from drawing almost like a billboard to drawing flat on the ground, like the layout that you want it to be. So hopefully this helps. Until next time, good luck.